This webinar is in two parts. The first part, I will be taking you through I'rab, the grammatical analysis of Surah al-Qadr, with a little bit of the Tafsir al-Jalalayn. I'll talk about that shortly. And that will be for about 20 minutes. And the second part of this webinar will be for questions. Now, having said that, if you have a question about the Nahu, the grammar that's happening while we're talking about it, please ask me. I like my classes to be interactive, so I welcome any questions on Nahu. Okay, for different questions like how do I acquire vocabulary, what curriculum to study, what books to study, this is something we can answer in the second part. Okay, so let's begin. I will be going through the I'rab of the ayah itself, and then we'll go back to the tafsir. So the first is Bismillah, Inna anzalnahu fi laylat al-Qadr. The translation of that is, verily, we commence sending it down on the night of destiny. This should be commenced with a D. So we have inna. What is inna? And for those who have done, I'm going to be referring to some of our certificates. The essential certificate, which covers about 90% of what is in the surah, is covered in the topics that we discuss in the essential certificate. So if you've done that with us, this is something that will come natural to you. So we have inna. What is inna? How do we do the i'rab of inna? Does anyone know?
السلام عليكم شيخ.
وعليكم السلام.
Yes, this is Mujahid.
أهلا وسهلا.
أهلا بك. Yes, إن is حرف نصب وتوكيد.
Good. Okay, so حرف نصب وتوكيد. So what does it mean when we say it's حرف نصب?
It's ism. It's the particle that brings about a grammatical change in the ism that it is attached to.
Right. So simply put, it makes the ism inna mansub. Right. So where is the ism inna here?
The damir muttasil.
Right. So the damir muttasil. This is the ism inna. Okay. Can someone else tell me where is the khabar of inna? Where is the khabar of inna? Does anyone know? Don't be shy. Okay, the khabar of inna, if I have inna, Zaydan, Talibun, right? Talibun is the khabar. This is the khabar of inna, the predicate of inna. You have the subject of inna, Zayd, and the predicate of inna is Talibun. Indeed, Zayd is a student. Now, when that is not a singular noun, we say it's in the mahal of rafa, which is this jumla anzalnahu. Indeed, we commenced sending it down. So this is a jumla fi'liya. The fi'l anzalna, anzala is a fi'l madi. The na is the fa'il. This is the doer of the verb, right? The na. And the ha, this ha here is the maf'ul bihi, the direct object. Okay, it's the direct object. Indeed, we commenced sending it down, anzala. Okay, and then we have fi laylat al-Qadr. So the fi, this is a harf, right? We call this harf jar. Layla, what is Layla? Who can tell me?
Ism majroor.
Ism majroor. Good. No. And Qadr is?
Mudaf ilay.
Mudaf ilay. Okay, good. So you have inna anzalnahu fi laylat al-Qadr. This is a simple sentence, right? Now let's look at what the Tafsir al-Jalalayn says. So what the interlineal commentary here is a tafsir. It's called Tafsir al-Jalalayn. Okay, and this is Jalalayn. literally the tafsir of the two Jalals. It's because there was a teacher and a student. The teacher is Jalaluddin al-Mahalli, and the student is Jalaluddin al-Suyuti. So Jalaluddin al-Mahalli wrote a tafsir from Surat al-Kahf all the way to the end. So it's like the middle of the Quran all the way to the end, and Fatiha. And he had a student who is named Jalaluddin al-Suyuti. Jalaluddin Mahalli, the teacher, passed away, and Suyuti finished the tafsir in a very similar style, so it's almost indiscernible to the style of his teacher, right? Jalaluddin al-Suyuti was a hadith master, prolific writer, wrote over 600 books, and Tafsir al-Jalalayn is a very concise tafsir that's studied. It's the first tafsir book that is studied in a traditional Muslim curriculum of Arabic, right, and Quranic studies, and then followed by other books, Nasafi, Baydawi. But Jalalayn is a very simple one. So let's look at what he says. He says, Ay al-Quran. Ay, the word ay is like in English, I-E. Ay. Ay al-Quran. What is he talking about here? Ay al-Quran. He's referring to this ha, this damir, the personal pronoun. We usually don't introduce personal pronouns at the beginning of a sentence without referring to anything before, right? We started off the sentence, Inna anzalnahu. So what are we talking about? It's so well known that the pronoun is being used, al-Quran. And he says, jumlatan wahidatan. Okay, when he says jumlatan wahidatan, that means at one time. That's why we commenced sending it down. Okay, meaning so what's the difference between these two verbs? We have anzala and we have nazzala. Okay, if you've done a little bit of sarf, morphology, you know this is form 2, nazzala, and this is form 4. And they both are transitive, which means they both have a causation meaning. They take a maf'ul bihi, right? It means to reveal. Nazzala and anzala both mean to send down or to reveal. So what's the difference? Nazzala, form 2, when it deals with causation, means to do something over some time. And anzala is at one time. Okay, and in this case, nazzala would be a revelation over 23 years of prophecy. Whereas anzala here is at one time, to commence. Right? That's where the transition commence represents. So, jumlatan wahidan min lawh al-mahfuz, from the preserved tablet, min al-lawh al-mahfuzi. The lawh al-mahfuz is the creation of Allah in the heavens that has all of what will be, what was. Ila as-sama'i ad-dunya, to the lowest heaven, or the nearest heaven, i.e. to earth. Now, sama'i ad-dunya, what kind of word is dunya? What kind of word is dunya? What, in terms of its wazan, in terms of its pattern, its sarf pattern? Does anyone know?
Are you speaking about the ending, Sheikh, or you?
The sarf of the pattern in terms of fa'in lam.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fu'ala.
That's right. Very good. It's an ism tafdeel, right? This is called a superlative or a comparative ism tafdeel. Fu'la, whose masculine is af'al, right? Like akbar, kubra, greater or greatest. So this is from adna dunya, right? Adna dunya, written like that. Okay, the lowest heavens. Fi laylat al-Qadr. Now here's Jalalayn says ay ash-sharaf wal-'izam. That means nobility and tremendousness. So there's difference among the mufassirin as to what does qadr mean. Okay, some say it means nobility, power, or destiny, right? So the translation here we're using is destiny. because this is when everything is destined, right? And it is carried out by the angels for the year to come. And is supported by the tafsir later on. But Jalalayn prefers this, that it's al-Qadr by meaning worth, okay? The night of honor and tremendousness, right? Okay, so let's continue. Now this one, this is a bit complicated for some people, but keep your grammar glasses on. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ. Okay, and what may teach you what is the night of destiny? So here, وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ, what kind of ma is this? What kind of ma is this?
This is istifham.
Yeah, everyone agree? Ma istifham. Yeah, we study the different types of ma's in the intermediate class. This is ma istifham, right? The questioning ma, the interrogative ma. What will teach you? Now, adra, the verb is adra like this. When you add a kaf, it stands up. The alif stands up like that, right? Adra yudri. Okay. Adra means to make, to teach, to make note, to inform. Okay. So you have the ma, and the ma is a ism istifham, which means it's an ism mabni, and every ism mabni has some grammatical function, right? In this case, this is the mubtada. This is the subject. The subject of the sentence is ma, and the khabar is adraka. Okay, adraka. This is the khabar. This is the predicate. What will teach you? So adra is not a very maybe common verb that's used. So he tells you a'lamaka, right? Tafsirs are often, they use synonyms. So he's saying a'lamaka. He's saying adraka means a'lamaka. Okay, because a'lama means to inform. Inform for, you can see this is inform for. And adra is also inform for. Right? Adraka, the kaf is a maf'ul bihi of adra yudri, right? What will teach you. And we would actually say that this kaf is not just maf'ul bihi, it's maf'ul bihi one, awal. Okay, it's the first maf'ul bihi, because adra is one of these words that are doubly transitive. They are muta'addi li maf'ulain. They take two maf'uls, like the word give, to give someone something, like a'ta, okay, or to teach someone something, darrasa, right? So adra, the same thing, it takes two maf'ul bihis. We'll look at what the second maf'ul bihi is shortly. He says, Ya Muhammadu. Right? He says, Ya Muhammadu, because he's describing who is the addressee, adraka. He's just clarifying the person who is being addressed, the kaf, is actually the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, Ya Muhammadu. Ma laylatul qadr. What is the night of destiny? Now, here, what's happening is you have a question. This ma is a question. Okay? And so this is ma laylatul qadr. This is an independent or a full sentence. Right? So what is the i'rab? When you have questions like masmuka, what's your name? Right? Masmuka. The way you figure out the i'rab of the questioning noun is you look at the answer. So if the answer is ismi, that's supposed to be a quick quotation bubble here. You say ismi, for example, Zaydun, right? Ismi Zaydun. You know that ismi Zaydun, ism is the mubtada, and that's a shorthand for mubtada, and Zayd is the khabar. Okay, so you work in reverse. Right? So if ism is mubtada here, that means it's going to be mubtada here, and the ma is going to be the khabar. Okay, so this ma is the khabar. Okay, this Layla is the mubtada, and he is now going to tell you, why are we doing it? Why is there a question? Why are we saying what will teach you what is the night of destiny? He says تعظيم لشأنها, exalting its matter, وتعجيب منه, and amazement or being, amazement by it. Okay, he's telling you this because of this is the balagha of the question. Like imagine I say to you, do you know who Zayd is? Like, do you know who he is? Like the question is like, by the tone of my voice, I'm telling you he's somebody really important. Okay, and so sometimes you can ask questions like that for ta'zim li sha'niha, to indicate how great this is. Okay, all right. So now we're still left with one thing we haven't discussed. What have we not discussed up to this point for this ayah, the i'rab of this ayah?
The i'rab ma laylatul qadr?
Right, the i'rab of this jumla ma laylatul qadr. What is it?
It is the second maf'ulun bihi.
Very good, Mujahid. It's the second maf'ul bihi. So adraka is number one. The kaf, sorry, is number one. What may teach you, right? And then this is the second maf'ul bihi. This is one of the i'rab. Okay, there are different i'rabs you can do. We'll just stick with the simple one today. Okay, we can answer questions on those another day. In this third one, I'm going to take part of the Jalalayn, not all of it, because it becomes complex. But Laylatul Qadri khayrun min alfi shahr. Okay, this is straightforward. The ayah itself. The night of destiny is better than 1,000 months. So you have a jumla ismiya, right, which has the nominal sentence of the subject and predicate. Layla is a mubtad'a. Khayr is the khabar, the predicate. Qadr is the mudaf ilay majroor, right? Laylatul Qadri. And min alfi shahr, this is a jar wa majroor. We call this a harf jar, ism majroor. Shahr is mudaf ilay. So he's going to now tell you, I'll explain part of this next one, okay? This sentence, laysa fiha laylatul qadri, is what we call in Arabic a jumla sifa, or a jumla na'tiya. And this in English is called an adjectival sentence. In order to understand what it means, you have to connect it to alfi shahr. Okay, so what does it mean for Laylatul Qadr to be better than 1,000 months? In 1,000 months, so Laylatul Qadr is better than 1,000 months in which there is no Laylatul Qadr. You have a question, Mujahid?
No, I'm talking to myself. Sorry.
Okay. So in jumla sifas, whenever you have a jumla that's an adjectival sentence, we're looking for a dhamir to tie it back to the previous word that we're talking about. And so here, that is fiha. So in which there is no Laylatul Qadr. Okay. And then I'm going to read this next part to you, but I'm not going to spend too much time explaining it because it takes a time. Like the translation is a bit different. It says, فَالْعَمَلُ الصَّالِحُ فِيهَا خَيْرٌ مِّنْهُ فِي أَلْفِ شَهْرٍ لَيْسَتْ فِيهَا. So basically saying an act of worship, any Quran, any dhikr, any charity in that month, or in this night is better than 1,000 months in which there is no Laylatul Qadr. Okay. تَنَزَّلُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَالروح فِيهَا بِإِذْنِ رَبِّهِمْ مِنْ كُلِّ أَمْرٍ. Okay, so here it says, therein the angels and the angels of the malaika and the supreme angelic spirit of life-giving revelation. This is the ruh. We're talking about the ruh. We're talking about Jibril, right? He has a very high maqam, Gabriel, among the archangels. He's the spirit. He's the angel of revelation, right? And so and it says, descend in throng after throng. Okay, so where do we get the throng after throng? We get it from the verb tanazzala. So nazala means to descend, right? Nazala means to descend, and tanazzala means it's form 5. Now you might say, okay, تنزل is a form 5, but that's got a fatha. And that is because this is actually it's a mudari, and which is, the asl is تتنزل. Okay? تتنزل. This is a form 5. What's very common is for the form 5 and 6, the tafa'ala and tafa'ala, if you've studied your 10 forms table, which everybody should be studying, and if you don't have it down, you should be doing it every day. It's not difficult. It's just memorization. It'll help you read. We draw and identify, right? We drop the ta to lighten speech, right? Just like we do in English, we say, instead of saying do not, we say don't. Instead of saying will not, we say won't. So in all languages and Arabic, we drop some letters to make it light. So instead of tatanazzalu, it's tanazzalu. This is a fi'l mudari', a present tense verb, right? And it says the throng after throng is because it's form 5 as opposed to form 1, right? Nazala also means to descend, but tanazzala has the idea of a gradation, like coming one after the other. Okay, step by step. So تنزل الملائكة, malaikatu is the fa'il of تنزلوا. والروح, ruh is, this is copying. Wow is a conjunction. We call this a harf ataf, and in Arabic, in English, we call it conjunction. A ruh is copying malaika. Now, we said the ruh is Jibreel, and Jibreel is part of the malaika. So why is this separate? This is something in Balagha. That we say that this is mentioning something specific, right? After mentioning something general, right? So I'm going to write this in Arabic. We say atful khas, okay, al-Am. So it's a conjunction of something that is specific to single it out because it's so special, like Jibreel is very special, so we're mentioning a ruhu, onto something that is general, and those are the angels. Okay? It says, fiha, what is Zaha referring to? It says, fi laylati, right? In that night, in Layl al-Qadr, jar majroor, bi-idhni rabbihim, again, jar majroor, harf jar, ism majroor, rabbihim, Rabb is mudaf ilayh, and him is mudaf ilayh, right? So he's saying, okay, when it says bi-idhni rabbihim, he says bi-amrihi, right? By his matter, right? Or his command, his command. Okay? They descend, right? What does it say? With throng after throng, by leave of their Lord. Okay? By leave of their Lord, to set every matter that shall happen that year. This gives us an idea. This gives us an idea, a feeling that the angels love to come down to earth, okay, to see the worshipful believers, right, in their Quran, in their dhikr, right. They love to see the ibadah, right. So there's the idea of they're coming with their permission, right, by the leave of their Lord, right, because they want to see these. Min kulli amr, min kulli amrin, and it says, and this is why this supports the reason for calling this surah Destiny, is qadahu Allahu. This is a jumla sifa. This is a jumla sifa of amr, right? Here it says to set every matter that shall happen that year. So qadahu Allahu means which Allah decrees in it, right? So again, from every matter, which or that is a sifa translation. This is a jumla sifa, okay, which Allah decrees, destines in that night. لِتِلْكَ السَّنَةِ, for that year, إِلَى قَابِلٍ, to the next. Okay, so everything that will be destined from that year to the next year. Okay, good. Any questions about this so far? Any nahu questions about this so far? Okay? And then we'll finish with Salamun hiya hatta matla' al-fajr. Now you guys tell me, what is the i'rab of salam? Who knows the i'rab of salam?
It's a khabar that is coming before the mubtada.
Very good.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
good.
Mm.
So
I'm talking
where's the mubtada?
here.
Very good. Okay, good. So we know that mubtada, the subject, is usually definite, and pronoun is are definite, right? And we know khabar is usually indefinite, and that's what salam is. So salamun here, note the translation. By the way, this translation is from Quran Beheld, the Quran Beheld, by Sheikh Nukeller. It's one of the few or the only translation I know that reflects the tafsir of the Quran. Okay, so the Balagha and the Tafsir, especially the Tafsir, right? And as somebody who has studied Nahw and Sarf and has studied Tafsir can appreciate it, right? The way that things are. So absolute peace and safety it is, okay, to the rise of the dawn. Okay, so absolute peace and safety it is. That's what salam. The reason why there's absolute is because it's indefinite and is brought forward, right? So, for example, like let's say, so that's uncommon, to be honest. This construction. What is uncommon? It's uncommon to have a khabar that is a single word brought forward. Okay, it's very common. It's very common to have a jar majroor. For example, you say, "Fid dari Zaydun." Okay, Zaydun is in the house is Zayd. You're bringing this forward for emphasis. You're like, in the house. Zayd's in the house. Are you not at the park? Okay, مثلا. But it's uncommon. For example, if you say Zaydun talibun, right? This is it's uncommon to bring talib before Zayd, right? Unless, like, imagine Zayd's been doing his undergrad, right? And he's like, he's not on the 4-year plan. He's not on the 5-year plan. He's like on the 8-year plan. Okay, you're like, Talibun Zaydun. He's a student, is Zayd. Like, he's still a student, for example. So here it's like surprise, right? So salamun here, and if you salamun here, hatta matla' al-fajr. Okay, absolute peace it is, right? Until this hatta is called hatta al-ghaya. Okay, hatta ghayatin wajar. Okay, ghayatin. Ghaya means the limit. Okay, and so when it says, when this means until, it means, well, we'll talk about actually what it means. So it says hatta matla' al-fajr. So matla is on what pattern? What pattern
Is a makan?
Ism makan. Okay. Any other possibilities? Anybody know?
Zaman.
Zaman. Okay. What else? Anybody know what is this pattern? This pattern is maf'al. What does that pattern mean? It's either zaman or makan, or it's masdar mimi.
Mimi.
Yeah, good. Okay, masdar mimi. So that's a masdar that has extra mim on it, basically. And so it could be, so here we're talking about matla. It's either going to be not ism makan, but either ism zaman or
Zaman.
okay, they're either what Jalalayn is choosing is, he says ila waqti tulu'ihi. So when he says that, he's telling you it's zaman. He's saying this is a ism zaman, matla' al-fajr. Okay, salamun hiya hatta matla' al-fajr, to the time of its rising. Okay, what this means, the ulama say that the prayer of fajr, salat al-fajr, enters in on this. So if you find yourself at the masjid at fajr, that enters into the Laylat al-Qadr. Okay, then he says, ju'ilat salaman. This is a passive verb for people who've studied this. in our essentials course, you know it's mabni lil majhul, right?
No.
It's built for the unknown. Okay, so mabni lil majhul takes a na'ib al-fa'il, right? The na'ib al-fa'il here is the hiya, which is referring to Layla. So the Layla is made absolute peace. Okay, why? لِكَثْرَةِ السَّلَامِ فِيهَا, because of its much or abundant peace in it. Okay, how is that? What's the reason for it being absolute peace? Is because of the angels. مِنَ الْمَلَائِكَةِ, because of the angels. لَا تَمُرُّ بِمُؤْمِنٍ وَلَا بِمُؤْمِنَةٍ إِلَّا سَلَّمَتْ عَلَيْهِ. Okay, the angels do not pass by any male believer nor any female believer, save that they give them salutations of peace. Okay, that's why this is called it's salamun hiya, absolute peace and safety it is, because of the multitude of angels coming down and giving salams.